It's day 10 of our Western adventure, where we discuss the highs and the lows of the day. And today started on a low. We got rained out bad and wind out heavy wind for. So we started on the wrong side of things in the morning from Fort Hall, Idaho. Hey, the Fort Hall Indian Casino refunded our money, and I wasn't expecting that. I had only wanted a reduction because the campground lost electricity in the middle of the night, so we weren't able to use that. So I have to give kudos to that for being really nice about it. We'll definitely come back if we're in the area. From Fort Hall, we went up to Blackfoot, but then kind of feelings overboiled, and my partner and I got into a huge fight when we got up to Blackfoot, which is just a few miles north of Fort Hall. After kind of come to a compromise, or at least to put the stuff behind us for the moment so that we could with the trip. In Blackfoot, we were doing basic household errands, which we hadn't done for several days. So that meant going to the bank, going to the grocery store, and some not as critical, but the thrift stores to find additional clothing that we were forgotten or just did not have. I got a nice pair of jeans out of it. And the neat thing about Blackfoot was when we were leaving the bank, I heard a train horn and I saw the crossing about a block away, and I sprinted there, and I got there just in time to catch the local switcher and about 30 cars running down the middle of the town and then off onto a branch serving the local communities. And I got it all on video. Hey, a win for me for the train videos. I haven't had too many on this trip, unfortunately. So once we got everything taken care of in Blackfoot, we headed not down along the interstate through Pocatello. We went west of the American Falls Reservoir. The Oregon Trail in this section actually goes straight down the middle and under the water of the reservoir, so you can't follow it anywhere close here. We decided on the western side because that was more agricultural and more typical of the region. And harvest season was in full swing. We saw grain, we saw hay, saw peas, and the most sugar beets, and the most interesting of all was the onions. I didn't know they grew so many onions in this area. Idaho is more famous for potatoes. Oh yeah, we saw a lot of potato trucks too. But the onions were kind of the surprise because they had all different colors. They had white, yellow, purple. We actually had one place where obviously they had been sorting stuff out, and they were feeding it to the sheep. And I got a great picture of the Technicolor onions with the sheep and the mountain ranges in the background. Also, this area has some really nice rock features too. At the end and the downstream side of the reservoir, we crossed American Falls Dam. We pulled in here for a rest stop, and we found a couple that, well, were kind of down on their luck, and they're cutting their trip short. So they had all this firewood. They said, "Hey, would you like all of this? We can't use it. We've been here 2, 3 days, but we're going home." And it's like, yeah. So loaded up on the firewood and got plenty, and now I don't have to pay for it. We also checked the fish hatchery. Unfortunately, that was closed because of the lockdown. From there, we headed southwest in kind of a curving pattern past the American Falls State Park and Mascara Rocks State Park, where we also stopped, and helpful ranger gave us a guide to Idaho State Parks, which was going to help us greatly in our trip. A few videos along the way, and we sort of followed the interstate, but we tried to follow the actual Oregon Trail, which meant usually we were about 3 to 10 miles to the south of the interstate and on gravel roads, but that was quite interesting. And we followed those most of the way to Twin Falls, where about or so we just decided to stop for the day, and that would be Anderson's RV campground, which I'll discuss in the night 10 video. But it was cool, and got set up there, and we're still about 10-15 miles east of Twin Falls, but there was a truck stop here, and thank goodness they have a stop that was open because they were considered essential. We had a good meal. I won't say a great meal, but it was delicious and filling. And then we went back to the campground for the night and just took it easy. Pretty straightforward day. No great adventures as in historical side. And I'm really sorry that we got into a big argument early in the morning. But by the time the evening rolled around, we were both back in a pretty mood, and bodes well for the next several days. Anyways, that's it for now. This is the news signing off. Have a great day.